Sisha, can you please confirm is my screen visible?
It's visible, Swati.
Okay, thank you. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this event on a Sunday morning. So, welcome to another event of Kochi Developer Group. So, today's event will be on generative AI for admins. Let me introduce myself. I am Swati Agarwal. I am a senior Salesforce consultant at Marlabs. I'm 9x Salesforce certified developer and consultant. Here I've mentioned my LinkedIn and Twitter handle. You can reach out to me over there. Along with me, we are having Sandhya. She's a co-leader for this group. She is Salesforce certified at UST. She is 6x Salesforce certified application architect. Sandhya's IDs are also mentioned. In case of any query or anything, you can reach out to her as well. So, as we all know, that today's session will be on generative AI for admins, which will be presented by our speaker Sesha. So, he will be sharing some amazing insights and very interesting facts about it. So, over to his session post this, and you can reach out to us on the mentioned Twitter handles, LinkedIn IDs, and you can also write an email to us on the mentioned Trailblazer IDs in case of any queries or you want any specific session to be included in our upcoming events. So your thoughts are most welcome. So talking about our today's speaker, Sesha, he is a product specialist at CloudBias. He is 5x Salesforce certified. Along with this, he is a Trailblazer community leader and Stack community leader as well. He is Product Tank community volunteer. So, talking about some of his achievements, he's B2B SaaS and App Exchange, clinic research, and AI ML enthusiast also. He is a continuous learner, mentor, and mentee. He trained Salesforce along 2000 plus enthusiasts he has trained. He has organized 50 plus community events. And also recently, he is certified on Google's generative learning path. So, congratulations, Sesha, for that. And so, without any further delay, I'll stop sharing my screen and share the screen, and you can start sharing your screen so that over to your session.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Swati, for the introduction. Means a lot. I'll share my screen. I'll share my camera too. I got ready for this session. Hope I'm visible.
Yes, Sesha, perfectly.
So I want to make this session a bit interactive. My hi to everyone. I think since very less folks are there, I would love to say hi to each person. Anshu, Bhaskar, Karishma, Lavanya, Neha, Rakesh, Rupalika, Rushikesh, Sai Kiran, Shanai, and Yogeshwar. Hi to everyone. Thanks for joining. Very good morning on a Sunday morning. Just want to know, how many of you know me before joining this session, and how many of you don't know.
I think you are very popular. I'm
Oh,
sure there is no one who does not know about you.
oh, nothing like that. Because I'm giving session for this community for the first time. So yeah, probably. Yeah, see, Rakesh don't know me. Thank you, Rakesh. I mean, this is the first time we are meeting. All right. So the session is all about generative AI, right? So generative AI is, in a nutshell, if I need to define that, what generative AI do is, right? It takes input in a prompt and gives you output, right? And what is happening at the back end and what is going to run this entire, huge machine shell is something we are going to discuss today. Use cases and what are the live applications and what is the impact of generative AI is something we are going to discuss today. So without any ado, I'll try to introduce myself. Already Swati has introduced. So the only change what I can tell in from this slide is, we have trained Salesforce to 3,000 plus enthusiasts. Swati has told it is 2,000 plus. Yes, it was 2,000 plus until 1 month or 1.5 month back. But recently we are doing few more initiatives in Bangalore. I stay in Bangalore and I collaborate closely with the Bangalore community leader. Though my community leadership is from my hometown Vijayawada, but yeah, since I'm staying here from past 3 years, I'm collaborating and doing some initiatives where we are going to each college of Bangalore and teaching Salesforce, introducing Salesforce to them. So that is what we are doing. Recently, in a month or month and of time period, we have impacted almost 1,000 students. We have gone to a college called Cambridge Institute. Yesterday itself we have gone to one more college called the East Point Technology, and coming week we are going to one more college, and in this month we have two more pending. So uh, whenever we get this weekend time, we go out and we do this Salesforce workshop and introduce our future force to the Salesforce ecosystem. So this is a, we can say it's a passion project we are doing as a Salesforce community folks. So yeah, any one from Bangalore who is joining here, since it's a virtual medium, and any of your college or any of your, I mean, even not even outside Bangalore, also you want us to come and give workshop, we are much more happy to do that. Do let me know for that. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm sure few people already connected with me from the audience list, I can say. And you can also connect with me on Twitter. It's just Sesha double underscore. And LinkedIn, it's my first name. If you type it with my the first name Tamalala, you'll find me. All right. So what are the things I'm going to cover today? I'll try to explain what is AI and ML, what is generative AI, and how generative AI works. What is the backend, framework which is, helping us to generate a lot of content, and what is the Salesforce Einstein and its history. So generative AI is there from a long period, right? There are big companies who already pioneered in this technology, but Salesforce also entering into this technology. Recently, they have generally available their Sales GPT and Service GPT. They also have some more GPT models and products. That is something we are going to discuss today. And what exactly Einstein GPT is from Salesforce, and how they are going to solve a lot of problems and some use cases. There are demos. I don't have any demo to showcase in an org, because the generative AI or the Einstein GPT is not available for any developer editions, right? So I have some video clips where I can show it to you. They're very good video clips. Recently, I've given this session in Bangalore as well, I think a couple of months back. So there I have shown these video clips, and everyone got enthusiastic about these demos, and they loved it. But post Dreamforce, of course, this month is all about Dreamforce. Post Dreamforce, the plan is they will release, this Einstein GPT related, orgs for free of cost. So then we may do a lot of practice by inputting a lot of data, and choosing the LLM models, and then generate the content through it. So for that we need to wait. So for today I'll be giving demos, by showing you some of the clips which are already available on internet, which was delivered by the product managers, and even in few cases, Benha and some other people also. They said Binay. Binay is my project. Sorry, Benioff. Benioff also delivered these sessions. Yeah. So before I talk about AI, ML, and all, I just want to take a couple of minutes of everyone. I'll stop sharing and want to understand what are your expectations from from this session. I see almost 23 plus members are here. Just want to understand what are your expectations from this generative AI session. You can unmute yourself if there is a possibility, or else you can use the chat window. Just want to understand more on the AI usage and implementation of AI. Absolutely, that is something I'm going to cover. Anshika told got to learn more about Gen AI. Yes, I have recently completed a certification, and I have got a lot of knowledge on this. And also, since I'm a product specialist, we build products on top of Salesforce. I am right now enhancing our products with Gen AI. So there are a lot of use cases. I'm day to day working on Gen AI. So maybe I can share a few for your information to know some insights of generative and Salesforce platform. Absolutely, Pratik. That is something I'm going to cover today. Understand generative AI in SF? Yes. All right. So everyone is enthusiastic to know about what is generative AI and what will go within Salesforce, how generative AI is going to be helpful. Absolutely. So I will go ahead and share my screen. Feel free to ask questions. While sharing the screen, I might not see your questions. I'll try to switch on and off my screen every 15-20 minutes to see your questions. Okay. All right. One
Also,
second, share.
I'll request everyone to please post your questions in the dedicated Q&A tab, so your questions might not be missed out in the general chat window. Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you, Swati, for that heads up. So yeah, for the people who are not aware what is artificial intelligence and machine learning, so they both are not equal, right? People usually call it as AML, AML. It's not equal. Both are not or comes under same category, right? But what are these? So if you see this slide, right, artificial intelligence is a huge big set, where within artificial intelligence there is machine learning as a subset, and even to the subset of machine learning there is deep learning. So artificial intelligence is a huge program or a subject we can call it as, or here clearly mentioned it's a discipline, and within that ML is a subfield. So whenever something talk about AML, don't consider both are same. AI is a discipline and ML is a subfield of AI. And there are many subfields when it comes to AI, right? ML is the one very famous one which we are knowing. And within ML, there is one more subfield called deep learning, where we are going to understand a bit of it today. Also, in ML, there are two types of models, right? Because our generative AI derives from the ML models. One is supervised model, and another is unsupervised model. So, what is the difference between both of them, right? If you see this deck, right, super learning, there will be input data, and you will have a model. So, what does this model mean? Model means there are some LLM models, large language models, where these models are nothing but where it takes the data, right? It gives you the predictions output, and there is already a trained data. So at the end of the day, AML is nothing but you take a lot of data, right? Millions and billions of data, and you input to this model, and that model will search whatever the question you ask. That model will search within your data, and it will predict you some output, right? If there is any error, right, the model will learn from itself, right? That's the beauty of AI and ML, right? It learns from its own mistakes, it learns from its own data, and it updates the model, and it gives you the most accurate predictable output. Okay, so that is just more of supervised learning. And when it comes to supervised learning, there is one more thing: all the parameters are defined. What do I mean by parameters are defined? We all are Salesforce folks, we know what is object, right? In an object, right, if all the fields are defined, then you know how the data is flow, can be created, can be edited, can be deleted, or even can be updated, upserted, right? Whatever the operations we want to do. So your parameters are already defined when it comes to supervised learning. But when it comes to unsupervised learning, the parameters are not defined. It is simply a raw data, right? It's like, give me a data of entire population across the globe and their eating habits with, how they do their day-to-day activities. You can't define 700 crores of populations data with their activities, with their everything in a simple defined or supervised data format. That's where our unsupervised data comes in, right? Wherever you cannot pass the parameters, the sheer data wherever you want to input to the LLM model or to the machine learning, the unsupervised will comes into picture. And there, it takes the input, it gives to the model, and it generates the output or example. So it's as simple as it is. So what is deep learning, right? We talked about machine learning. And machine learning, there are two types of models: supervised and unsupervised. And what is deep learning doing here? So deep learning is one more subfield of machine learning, where there is supervised learning, unsupervised learning. There is one more learning called reinforcement learning, and the last one is deep learning, right? So this is very important when it comes to our generative AI. And generative AI also take the inculcation of unsupervised learning. So these two are the one which is running the generative AI. Okay, so let's understand. And where our generative AI comes into picture? In the ML, the subfield is deep learning, and within deep learning, the subfield is generative AI. Okay, so if you go back to our physical diagram, AI, ML within that deep learning and within that generative AI. Okay, so where does the large language models comes into picture? I'm talking about LLM right now. What is the famous LLM you know? Is there any LLMs you know, guys? Just want to see the chat. GPT, yes, the famous one where OpenAI has introduced. What is the current version of GPT? Bard. Bard is not LLM. Bard is a tool which was introduced by Google. So Bard is a tool where we are using, but the LLM used for Bard is the Llama 2, right? That was introduced by Google. So GPT-4 is the recent one. What is the free version of GPT available? 3.5. Yeah, they have introduced the 3, but the recent and freely available one is 3.5. So yeah, I see the audience are well equipped and they have know their questions. Great. All right, I'll go back once again. All right. So once again, going back. So this generative AI is subfield of deep learning as well as large language model is subfield of deep learning, but there is an intersection between both, right? The generative AI, whatever you are seeing here, is intersecting with your LLM model, right? So that means generative AI and LLM talks to each other, and that's where the outcome comes is your predictive output with the sum of the input which you give. Okay, so this is more of the prerequisite of knowledge which you need to understand. Ideally, if you go to any of the generative AI session, they will not cover this because they will directly jump into what is generative AI. But I want you to know what exactly is AML, what exactly is supervised unsupervised learning, what is deep learning, within deep learning what are the subcategories and how they interact to each other to give us the generative AI. So this is my intention. I hope you understand the prerequisite of how it works. And deep learning has two types of models. One is discriminative, right, and another is generative. So these are the two famous models that it has many models. So until I would say probably mid of 2010s, right? Discriminative models are very popular, right? But slowly generative models also comes into picture. And after OpenAI's ChatGPT, generative AI got into into the limelight, and everyone has started using it. But let's try to understand what are these two, right? Discriminative model is something used to classify or predict. I'm sure you might be heard about Salesforce discriminative products as well, which is one famous one is Einstein. Maybe I want you guys to tell what is the one discriminative model from Salesforce. Not CodeGen. CodeGen is very recently introduced. So which predicts some of the data. Einstein GPT is also recent one. Discriminative I'm talking about, not the generative one. The first word is Einstein. What is that last one? It's a three word. So I'll tell you the third word also. It's a builder. Einstein X builder, not CRM analytics. Good try, guys, by the way. It's Einstein prediction builder. So Einstein prediction builder is the one which takes a lot of data, right? And it do all the discriminative models it using generative AI, or not generative AI, deep learning, and it gives you the predictive output. So that is what Einstein prediction builder used to do, and that's a discriminative product. A deep learning product. Salesforce has now. Salesforce has its own generative product which is GPT and CodeGen. There are many things. Recently I have attended a couple of Salesforce Dev Days. One is in Hyderabad and another is Bangalore. So they have clearly mentioned in both the Dev Days events what Salesforce is coming up with generative AI. So very excited about what they are coming up. So what is the exact difference between discriminative and generative? If I take an example, if I give a dog as an input, right, it classify and say it is a dog as an output. Okay. In case of, if I give two images as an input, one is dog and another is cat, and if I ask the prompt, tell me which of the following is a dog, then it will give you the output of dog image by comparing both. So basically what it is doing is, it is taking the data, right? In my case it is just two sets, but yeah, in the other cases, it's a huge number of data. It takes each number of data and it classify what is dogs and what is cats, right? That is what it does. And it also gives you the predictions as well, right? So but when it comes to generative technique or generative AI, it gives a dog as an input, and I will ask the prompt saying that the dog is right now, it's a black and orange color, and I'll ask, hey, take this input and give me output with white and black, even without me defining it's a dog. Then it will give you this image. So that means generative technique, what it does is it takes the input and it generates the output which is similar to your input, right? Or sometimes it could not be similar to it input as well, depending on what you are trying to type it in your prompt. So this is what the difference between discriminative and generative. Even in this image, if you see, generative is something which generates from the data. Discriminate is something it discriminates, and classify what exactly it is. Okay. One more. So when it comes to predictive ML model, right, it takes the data, it takes the labels. Labels are nothing but fields, if you can call it as per the Salesforce knowledge, and it gives you the output, and it generate one more label, right? Learns relationship between data and. So what you are trying to do is, using the predictive ML models, you take the labels and data as an input, and you give output as a label, right? The dog example. And in case of unstructured content and Gen AI model, you take the input, learns from the patterns from unstructured content, and you gives a new content, which is nothing but our old example of orange and black dog to white and black dog. So that is what happens at the back end. You can feel free to take screenshots, because this knowledge might be helpful. I would say you go and from tomorrow onwards, you go to your office and brag yourself, saying that I know what is Gen AI and what goes behind Gen AI as well. By learning these things. So now we talked about more of the background. What are the difference between discriminative AI, generative AI, so on and so forth. So now let's jump into only generative AI from now. And if you see this, a family of Gen AI is a family of deep learning algorithms that can automatically create content such as text, imagery, code, voice, and even video. So there are many use cases I have covered in this presentation. I'll go through them one by one. Okay. So the same, the repetition, what I have told you, AI has machine learning has deep learning, and deep learning comes up with generative AI, right? So the same. And what exactly is generative AI? Is a type of artificial intelligence that creates new content based on what it has learned from existing. And process of learning from existing content is called training and results in creation. Uh, I don't want to let you know what is statistical model and all, because this is more of comes into data science background. By the way, my education background is engineering, and where I have did computer science, and my specialization is data science. So that's why I know what are these models, what is AI, what is ML. Even there are some more aspects comes into AML, where we also call it as warehousing, data cleaning. There are many things comes under. So I don't want to get into those niche knowledge, but yeah, you can take what exactly is required to know the prerequisite. Okay. So moving forward, so what exactly is traditional deep learning methods versus large language models? So you might be hearing LLMs of GPT, GPT-3, GPT-4, Llama, even Salesforce has introduced their own LLM called ColdGen. Many things are there, right? So what is the difference? So the only sheer bottom line difference is, in traditional deep learning methods, there are millions of parameters. Okay, parameters is one thing which defines the knowledge, and it pass on to the output. Assume it as, this is nothing but your nervous system, right? Human nervous system. So human nervous system, how many nerves it will have? How many neurons it will have? I'm sorry. Anyone knows how many neurons a human will have? You can Google it out. Billions is one answer. So I just Googled out, even I don't know the accurate answer. So the exact answer is 86 billion. Okay. So your 86 billion, oh yeah, thank you. You guys Googled and gave the answer. Exactly 86 billion of neurons come together, right? If I'm telling something, probably all neurons or a subset of neurons are reacting and activating and storing it your memory and passing something to your body, right? I'm not trying to go to that medical history of what neurons is, but yeah, the same neuron concept has been taken into deep learning. I'm going back once again and assume your traditional deep learning has millions of neurons, and now your LLMs has billions of neurons. So the amount of impact it is going to have with your deep learning, traditional deep learning to LLM is so high. So that's why LLMs are nowadays, the talk of the town, right? Whoever builds LLMs, and if that LLM is a successful one, they are the billionaires in the world. Trust me, right? Or at least the millionaires in the world, because they can sell this LLM to any of the big company, right? And they can start, having their own Gen AI tools. So if you want to learn more about LLMs, feel free to let me know. I can have a talk chat with you outside this session, and we all can collaborate. Okay. So what generative models are, right? There are generative language models and there are generative image models. What is the exact difference between both? In generative language models, it learns from the patterns of language and it gives you the output. Let's say, uh, the perfect example is, translations, right? Let's assume I'm giving this session in English, right? If I on the subtitles or whatever we on it, right, it shows you in the English language on the UI, right, on your screen. But what I can also do is I can change this language to, let's say, Hindi, and it will turn the language for you to Hindi. It's a already existing model. Do you know which company is already doing this? The transcript of whatever the language we are talking, it converts to other language. Have you been to it, or you guys see it? Yes, Google already has the transcript, right? Where whatever the transcript you are talking, if it is English, it will automatically convert to Hindi or any Arabic, or it could be Spanish or anything. Right now I think they are supporting very few languages, not all the well-known languages. But yeah, I'm sure they are going to do it with most of the languages. And their mission and vision is to even go deep down into the local languages, or sometimes to even the, what we said, the tribal languages also, and with multiple accents. So assume what I mean, if learning is a boon, and these kind of language models are going to enhance that, right? Assume I'm coming from a very, least background where I have never exposure to English, but me giving the generative AI session, and that person who are well aware, let's say Telugu or Tamil, right, and they are able to see this session in their transcript. It's a game changer, right? Because they can learn, and maybe they can also do the applications on top of it. So that's what the application mean. And there are generative image models. Image models produce new images using techniques like diffusion. Diffusion is one of the famous technique in AML zone. So there is this diffusion model where it generates the images out of it. So basically what happens is, in the prompt, right, if you give a image, our old example, if I go back, it's the dog example. It takes the dog image, right, the orange and black image, and it transform and gives you the new image of white and black dog, right? So what happens over there is they transform random noise into images and generate images from prompts. So this is what happens at the back end. And some use cases, generative AI based on data. If you give input as an image, it can give you output as text. let's say I gave an image of a ECG scanning, right? So you know what is the most high paying job in US? Have you guys know what is the most high paying job in US? Well, I would not say most, probably top notch, high paying job. Not prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is nowadays the one of the high demand job or probably high paying job. But in US, one of the high paying job is, the ECG readers. Okay, the people, not even ECG, even any scanning, right? Doctors, actually, any doctor in US is very costly. US medical is one of the costliest across the globe. One of the cheapest and well equipped is India. At least we need to be proud of that. So what happens is in ECG, right? Doctor, they take almost 400, 500K USD per year, right? What they only do is they take 20, 15 ECG copies, they read it, and they give the, how is your health status, right? Based on whatever the ECG or whatever the scan it is. So just for doing that, they take a lot of, salary and all. Sometimes they do consult as well. Each ECG they take, thousands of dollars sometimes. So what application is now? Now assume the doctor can be replaced just by generative AI. So I can input the image of ECG and I can give the output as text saying that, let's say ECG of a healthy patient, ECG of a, non-healthy patient. If I give both the ECG, it generates the output saying that this person is healthy. He need not to worry about, let's say, heart. His heart is well equipped, everything is good, but he has a bit of cholesterol, and he can do some exercises, and he can have this diet. Assume this is the output, and the non-healthy person saying that, hey, there is a high chances of he getting the heart attack in next 1 2 years, and he need to change his entire life cycle or lifestyle, and he need to be having, the lot of liquids, lot of, you need to quit smoking, blah blah blah. I'm just, throwing some content to you. Assume if generative AI is doing that, then what will be the probability of me having that doctor by paying 400, 500K? I don't want to pay because generative AI is accurate than him, or sometimes, it's much more flexible and less cost than him. So I'll go with this. So even the high-paying job within US is also in risk using generative AI. I'm just, giving you one of the use case, right? Similarly, you can also do image searching, visual questioning answers, right? Let's say if I keep a visual image and I ask question, it can answer from the image as well. And if I, give input as image, and it gives input as output as an image, as I mentioned, the dog example. Nowadays, this is very popular, super resolution images. If I keep a image which I captured in normal 5000, 10,000 phone, and if I ask that image to be converted to super resolution, it gives you a resolution of what even, your iPhone generates. So everyone need not to maintain an iPhone, right? If you are not having that much of budget, you can buy normal pictures, and you can convert it to super resolution pictures using some prompts and tools which are already available, right? And if I give off broken image, it can give the image completion as well, right? If it, using image input and output as an animation. Recently, some of the people has given this output video animation. What they did is, you might be knowing about stock images. Stock images is nothing but thousands and lakhs of images will be available for some paid subscription. Many of the companies are doing this stock images. So what they do is they take a bunch of stock images, they give input to one of the LLM model, or it could be a prompt, and it asks them to, can you please generate me an advertisement, let's say for Coca-Cola or Pepsi, for 15 second or for 30 seconds. They have did it actually. What they have done is, I think it's Coke or Pepsi, I forgot what brand it is. They give the stock images, and they told, can you give me an ad? And it literally gave the ad of 30 seconds or 1 minute. And of course, it is not looking that good how we used to, generate an ad with the real people. But yeah, it has given a very good output. and that gives a lot of heat into entire Hollywood. You guys know Hollywood is in right now? They are doing a lot of hangama with the generative AI. Anyone heard about it? They are doing dharnas and all. Lot of hangama they are doing in Hollywood. You guys ever heard about it? And you know what is the reason? Rajay is telling yes. The reason is generative AI, right? They are feeling bit insecure because of generative AI, because generative AI is giving the scripts, and there is a high chance that generative AI can also build movies as well. Probably in few years, a generative AI can replace huge stars, and it can generate its own movies. So that is the high risk they are able to sense it at the moment. And now they are doing all this dharna sangama and so on and so forth. And I don't know, it's a positive thing or it's a negative thing, but yeah, some people are not secure with this generative AI. So yeah, and also I want you guys to search generative AI advertisements. I'm just searching. That's by Pepsi, I guess. Pepsi or Coke, I forgot the brand. Yeah, maybe you can search it later. I'll start sharing my screen once again. Thanks for being so active, guys. I mean, I one of the most active trailblazers I've seen. And there are many use cases when it comes to text. If you give text as an input, it can give text as output, image as output, even audio, even some decisions. So I'm not trying to explain each use case, but yeah, you can read it from here. One of them is translation. If I give testing input as English, I can translate it to Hindi. And the most important one is summarization. uh, let's say one BRD document came to you, right? And it's a 60-page document, or it could be API integration document, whatever the document it came to you. And it's very pain to read all 60 pages or 100 pages or whatever, right? If you give that document as an input and you ask output as, tell me top 10 points from this document, it literally gives you top 10 points from this document. Put the top 10 points, you hardly take 5 minutes, and that's it. You read a very important book or very important document what you want to. So that's the summarization. That's a very key functionality. Question answering, right? There are many instances we have seen in newspapers or news where students are cheating the exams using question answering. So you give a probably one of the toughest cat question or UPSC question as an input. Within 1 second, it gives you the output, and you are 1 second away to respond to that question. So question answering, it can give grammar correction. There are many tools now. Generative AI is also doing that. Text to image, as I mentioned, you can generate another images, you can generate even videos. And text to speech, whatever the text you give, it can convert it to speech. Nowadays, many of the companies, even my company is also doing this. I give the script as text, okay, and one lady who is nothing but artificial intelligence talk about it, and we can generate videos out of that as well. And decisions like play games, chess, right? If you There are many use cases I have seen, it has been used in chess as well. Depending on the opponent's moves, your chess will automatically move in a way. At the final, it makes sure you win, right? So this opponent move is nothing but the input, and output is nothing but your move. So this is a very game changer. Generative AI is doing in the gaming industry as well. Okay, so how it works? By the way, how do you guys find these use cases? What is Quelly bot? I don't know. Maybe it's a bot which is already there. Okay, grammar check. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for sharing the videos, Bhaskar Sesha. Yeah, this is the one I'm talking about. By the way, please everyone see this video. This is generated by AI. Thank you, Bhaskar, for sharing. Which brand it is for, by the way? Is it Coke? It's not Coke, it's something else. I think it's Coke only. Yeah, good video, guys. Please go ahead and see whatever the brand it is, but it is generated by AI. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay, so how it works, right? We have talked about many use cases and how it is working from the backend, right? So these are the 3 points which you need to remember. It's a pre-trained data and it trains with large amount of data. As I mentioned, data could be billions or even more than billion of data. And parameters, right? Parameters are billions. As I mentioned, what is the difference between traditional deep learning and difference between LLM models? So in LLM models, in traditional deep learning, it has millions of parameters, nothing but millions of neurons. And when it comes to LLMs, it is having billions of parameters, which is nothing but our, equivalent to our human neurons. And it takes the unsupervised learning. The reason why I have told you all this prerequisite is I want you guys to understand what these 3 points are. So these three are very important for you to understand how generative AI is working from the backend, right? So these are the three parameters or three pre-training aspects of it. So how it goes, right? This image will tell you everything. So it takes the input, it goes to the transformer. Okay. So have you guys know the full form of GPT? You would have used many GPT tools. You guys know the full form of GPT? What is that? GPT full form? Generative pre-trained transformer. See, the last word I want you guys to focus, transformer. So it's a generative and pre-trained transformer. So basically, the slide which I'm showing, right, it's talk about generative AI pre-trained transformer, and it's applicable for all GPTs, not GPTs, all LLMs. So what happens at the back end, right? It takes the input, it goes to the transformer. In the transformer, it will have encoding component. So basically, it takes the input, it encodes into its own language, and it process the data, and it decode to the language what we have inputted, and it give you the generative pre-trained transformer model, to the transformer model, where here is where your LLM models comes into picture, and it gives you the output. So your input is how it is going, and you are telling I'm doing all right, thanks for asking, how are you? So this is the process happens. So it first encode your input, then it decode back to your input process, and then it generates the data with the help of the pre-trained transformer model, which is nothing but your LLMs, right? So this is how it goes. And prompt. So what does the prompt makes a huge difference, right? So have you guys opened ChatGPT? I use very often ChatGPT. This is my ChatGPT already bookmarked. I used every day almost. And this one what you are seeing, right, you are typing I'll just type who is my name. I never typed this, by the way. I hope it don't scold me. It didn't find me. Okay, good. So I asked a question, who is this guy, and he told that I couldn't able to find this. Let's type some famous guy, not me. Yeah. So it talking about is a Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink. These are the companies he's associated with, and it is telling about this. So what does I did, right? I give a input to a prompt. At the end of the day, your ChatGPT is a prompt, okay, where it takes the input and it gives you the output. Prompt is nothing but you asking question. It gives you the answer. No, it is not like that. You can actually talk to the prompt as a human, like I ask, let's say Bhaskar is one of our audience. I ask Bhaskar, hey Bhaskar, who is Elon Musk? He will tell Elon Musk is founder of this and this. He is one of the richest person in the world. And I will keep on asking question. What is his net worth? What is his blah blah blah. So Bhaskar and I have the conversation between us. Similarly, prompt is nothing but you give input and just it takes you the output. You can also have the conversation with this. I will ask you. I will ask few more questions to ChatGPT regarding Elon Musk, and it gives me. So, what is his current net worth? I'm not keeping the name Elon Musk intentionally, because it already know I'm talking about Elon Musk. And it will say that it don't have data because ChatGPT 3.5 is all, only having the data until September 2021. So it don't have the recent values. But instead, what I can ask is, what is his first company? See, it gives the data because this data is before 2021 September. It gives you that company. So, what is his first wife name? Because he is married to many women. See, it gives the data, right? Who is his? I'm just randomly typing this for your information. Fourth child. I think it doesn't have its children's data, right? So you can talk about, you can talk to generative AI. It's a prompt which helps you to ask questions and it gives you the answer just like your friend. So for those who just give question and answer, generative AI is not that. Generative AI is more of conversation based. You can use more. Actually, I use Bard as well, right? In Bard, it gives you very good data. Change because Bard is more intelligent because it has the live data. The same questions I'll ask to Bart. What I'll just copy paste instead of typing them. I'll ask Bart also who is me. We'll see what it answers. I never did this, guys. By the way, I'm doing it right now. And if it is calling me, don't record this video and keep it anywhere. I don't know. It gave some known as it's a lyrical beauty and oh my god. At least it knows I am from rural Andhra Pradesh. Several awards, including Sahitya Academy. I wish I won all of them, but yeah, it's not talking about me. And I didn't born in 1944. I'm too young. So yeah, maybe it is taking or it got confused with another person. I intentionally did it, guys, because there is something called hallucination, right? I will talk about that later. Any questions until now? Feel free to ask questions. I can see a few questions. No, perfect. Is it interesting or you're feeling bored? Just say yes or no. Interesting, yes or no. Perfect. I can see most of the yes. All right. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'll go back. So yeah, what does this do? Prompt, right? Basically, prompt, is just the input medium, but at the back end, there are LLM models which takes the prompt as your input, and what happens here is it goes to transformer, it encode, it decode, it generates some output. So prompt is just the mediator between your LLM and to your input, right? So the output could be a summarization, writing, keyword extraction, anything. And the application landscape looks like this. You can generate text, you can generate code, you can generate images, speech, video, 3D, and other anything. So if you see in the application stand base, you can do marketing, sales, support, writing, note taking, other many things. You can also generate code. Salesforce has come up with recently one model called code gen, right? Code documentation. In recent dev days I have seen one of the demo where you write the code, right? Documentation is the one of the painful process for any developer, but it does the code documentation for you. Even image generation, when it comes to images, video editing and generation, as I mentioned, gaming, RPA, music, audio, biology, and chemistry. There are many use cases out there. I would love to explain one uh, instance happened within Bangalore, right? How many of you are from Bangalore, by the way? Know this? I'm coming to that, Anmol. I'll explain about Einstein GPT very soon. So you guys are from Bangalore, right? There is one company called Dukan, right? I have given this example two, three places, but whenever I give this example, people will get shocked. So there is a company called Dukan, one of the I would say, top-notch company in Bangalore startup ecosystem. It is not at unicorn; it is Sunicorn, about to become unicorn. So the company founder, right? They have a very huge, pain point, which is they have lot of, tickets pending in their bucket, right? There are many people who have raised tickets, and almost hundreds and thousands of tickets are pending from a long time. They're a very sleek and slim team. If they, if they are like Salesforce that big, they would have had thousands of employees just to resolve tickets. But they are a startup, right? They cannot afford those many employees, so they take their own time. They resolve it, slowly. But at the end of the day, the end you customer is not happy, because I want my ticket to be resolved as soon as possible. That is period, right? So, but what they have done is they have recruited one of the person who has a lot of AML knowledge, and that person started building a chatbot, AI chatbot, generative AI chatbot to be more precise. So what they have done is, usually every product release or any project release or go live happens usually on Friday evenings, right? Because we Friday until Friday we snog off in the evenings or late night we release it, we go home, we sleep, and Monday morning we'll see what's how it is working. But what happened is this person did the same thing, right? They have launched this product, and they are very tired, the entire team. Even the founder is also part of that launch, and the founder go back home and he slept. But what happened is, at the midnight, or not even midnight, or the early morning, is keep on getting lot of messages and phones, so, saying that all the thousands or hundreds of tickets what are pending has been resolved overnight. And that is a shocking news for that founder. He ran back to his office, and he saw all of them are genuinely resolved, and most of them are accurate enough as well. So what he has done next day is, he has fired his 90% of his support team, because all the support team who are unable to resolve these hundreds and thousands of tickets in days or months, just overnight one chatbot has resolved, and he has fired 90% of his support team. So that is the impactful story which happened in Bangalore, and there are many places that's happening. This is one of the most famous one I've shared with you, and that is the impact. That is the applications we are trying to build, and our jobs are not that safe. Honestly, telling you, you could be a developer, you could be a, a product manager, project manager, or you could be a fresher too, or you might not be in software industry, you might be in another industry. I'm sure none of our jobs are safe enough unless or until you can operate, how to operate AI or generative AI tools, right? So that is something very important for us to note. So, do you know about this story or hearing it for the first time? And there are many stories I have heard, and that those are very scary. Honestly, telling you. Yeah, I'm glad you know about it. Just go and type in Google Dukan 90% firing of 90% firing of support team. You will find much more information what I have told. So every application is impacting each job or each person's life. So yeah, and to let you know how this generative AI is going very rapid and very fast, this is one example. So Salesforce has come up with no software back in 1999, I think they have established, but 2004 is something they have come up with no software. And for the mobile adoption of 100 million users, it took 16 years. For a social media, Instagram, it took 2.5 years to get 100 million users. But for a generative AI, to get 100 million users, it just took 2 months. So the rapid adoption of new technology is so high, right? And people are affecting, in a very positive way as well as in a negative way. So due to this rapid adoption of technology, uh, as I mentioned, our jobs can be good enough if you are well equipped and well skilled. If not, you might be having a bad day, one fine day. And if you see this image, what this beautiful lady you are seeing is generated by Midjourney. There is no lady such as such in this world, but there is a very good tool called Midjourney. I would say this is the best image generated tool, right? Using this tool, they would have given some instructions saying that give me a redhead girl who is smiling and having a background of San Francisco with blurred background. That could be the prompt input, right? I'm just assuming. And this is the output they got, right? So they literally generated a new human out there using Midjourney. And as I mentioned, the adoption is so fast. So this is one of the report given by Goldman Sachs. I'm sure you might be heard about this bank, one of the top-notch investment bank, Goldman Sachs, and they have did a huge report, huge analysis, and they have come up with this output saying that it could impact 300 million jobs. So as you guys know, 1 million is 10 lakhs, 30 million, 3 million is 30 lakhs, 30 million is 3 crores, and 300 million is 30 crores. So 30 crore jobs are going to impact just because of generative AI. So it's a very huge impact, trust me. uh, Probably tomorrow or next month or probably in next quarters, your seniors or your managers or your the leadership team can replace you with any of the generative AI tool, right? So we all are part of this impact. I'm sure you must be aware by now. If not, please be aware now. And I mean, just what the only thing you can do is just upskill yourself, make yourself your knowledge base friendly with AI and generative AI, and you are going to survive. So yeah. And people are asking more about Einstein. Yes, I came to Einstein now. I can jump into this with Einstein directly, but I want you guys to know the prerequisites, the applications, the use cases, many things, so that you know what exactly generative AI do. Uh, so Einstein, coming to Einstein, first AI for CRM. So basically CRM, right? Whatever the data you have, lead data, opportunity data, account data, contact data, product data, price book data, whatever the data you have, you can generate some more data out of it, right? Using your CRM data. So it's the first AI for CRM. Everyone's data scientist, right? Einstein is our data scientist. It's a low code platform and every cloud is supported. So what is this low code and every cloud? I'll slides. And if you see how Salesforce admin can innovate with AI, right? There's a sales application. You can increase sales productivity. You can create custom predictions faster than Einstein prediction builder, and you can create intelligence apps using Einstein AI. And if you see 1.3 trillion automations per month, you can do just with Einstein AI. And sorry. So Einstein also doing 215 billion predictions per day. So this is the Einstein suite what it is doing. And modify flows fast with flow gpt. So this is right now in beta flow gpt. I got the leverage to see what flow gpt is doing. You won't believe me, even admin's job are not that safe, because I would say any admin, I mean, admin job is one of the easiest one if you know what is the basic platform. But where the differentiator factor comes in admins is if they know security of Salesforce very well, if they know automation of Salesforce very well. Right now, the only automation tool with the encourage and every company encourages Flow. If Flow GPT is something, if you give input what flow need to be generated, it automatically create a flow. Of course, it is beta; it is not that accurate at the moment. uh, then there is a no need of admin, right? I'm a product specialist. I want to build products, but I don't want an admin to build my flow. I can go ahead and type, hey, build a flow which will you know automatically stamp a value from account to and once the data is stamped, trigger me an email. If it is automatically building a flow, then why I need to have an admin, right? So that's one of the use case of Flow GPT, and it is coming soon. Right now, Sales GPT and Service GPT is GA. So, what does Einstein pioneered an AI for CRM, right? Maybe most of the generative AI or the AIs is something we talked in uh, early 2020s, or I would say even late 2022. But Salesforce has started this journey in 2014 itself. They had SFDC AI Research founded. They acquired Relative IQ. This is one of the AI company they acquired. You all know, right? AI, Salesforce is known for its acquisitions. They either build it or they buy it, right? So that's what they do. They acquired some of the prediction metaminds. They have some vision and language models. They have bots. Ancient bots comes in 2017. It made a lot of hangama when it got launched. Even ancient prediction builder got launched in 2018. Then they acquired Bonobo. Conversation Insights is something come for sales and marketing. Recommendation Builder, Einstein Recommendation Builder, one of the good tool, but yeah, it couldn't able to sustain well. And there comes the Einstein Search. This is one of the famous one you all might know. But in 2022, right after ChatGPT's and OpenAI's introduction, they increased their breadth and breadth of their journey. Then they came up with one LLM model, Code Gen. They have proper Gen paper, and they come up with Einstein GPT release in mid of 2022. They have now Slack GPT, Tableau GPT, and some other Core TF, Core TF5 LLMs they are now, right now building. So I would say Salesforce is very late when it comes to this flow of AI, but there are other companies like Google, OpenAI, Microsoft. They already started this journey very early, and now they are the market leaders. But I'm sure if Salesforce also get the success in generative AI place, they will also be in a very good position. If not now, in next quarters. So uh, Einstein, something we'll talk now. So what is the rise of generative AI, right? You take more data, you take better algorithms, and it have the computing power where the same is applicable to our Salesforce as well. So Salesforce doesn't innovate much about going to be generate the data with CRM. They are still going with the basic factors what they go into data algorithm and computing power. So Salesforce has this advantage of computing power because they have their own servers as well as they have collaboration with AWS servers. So their computing power is too high. So they need not to worry about that. And algorithms is something they are already building their LLM models. And for your information, Salesforce is also open to use other LLM models like GPT, Llama 2, and even some of the tools like OpenAI of and even Amazon also they are trying to collaborate. I'll tell you in more in next slides. So if you see right now, Salesforce has did one of the research and they have come up to a conclusion that 67% of IT leaders are prioritizing generative AI in next 6 months. So this is a very huge change. That means every two out of three leaders, IT leaders, are just focusing towards generative AI. There could be having a huge product roadmap for them for next 6 months, but they have revamped entire product roadmap and they are just prioritizing generative AI. And one of the example is my company itself. So I work closely with all the product managers. I'm one of the product manager. So we have a huge roadmap which we established last year for this year. And after generative AI swing, we have changed our entire roadmap. Now we are prioritizing AI, and we have built AI tools. Recently we also launched some AI tools from our company. So yeah, it's not only our company. There are many companies who are doing this, and if you are not learning generative AI, you are not no more part of this roadmap. Uh, yeah. So four principles generative AI is responsible in Salesforce. As you know, Salesforce is number one priority to trust, and they are giving priority to security, accuracy, and empowerment. So accuracy is one of the value which got added recently because when it comes to AI, right, accuracy matters a lot. Uh, if I go to my old example, I told you, that ECG or any scans what you take, if I accurately tell the scan 98, 99% of accuracy, if I give the output, the patient is safe. What if my accuracy is 50% or 60%? To a healthy patient, if I say you are not healthy, I mean he will get heart attack then. So right, though his heart is very fine. And to an unhealthy patient, if I say you are healthy, you need not worry about anything, but next month he died because you gave a wrong prediction. So accuracy plays a major role. Anything more than 95% is the best accuracy. Anything more than 90% is good accuracy. Anything below 90%, you know not to trust the tools because it won't be helpful for you. So Salesforce, one of the principle is right now is accuracy and empowerment, because right now everyone is going towards AI. They want to empower the entire industries, entire product suite, with AI. So these are the four principles they are following, and that's where they come with the trust layer. I'll talk about this trust layer more. So they have the data retrieval where they secure the data very accurately. They have dynamic grounding, data masking. These are very keywords in AML terminologies. What is grounding, masking? There is one thing called toxicity detection. Let's say you have some data and you give the input of saying that how can I, let's say you have billions of contacts data, and you type of input saying that how can I pass this COVID-19 to these contacts. That's a very bad input you are giving, right? So the toxicity of that input itself is very extremely bad. So Salesforce make sure it also detects the toxicity, right? And it gives you the toxicity range as well. Is it good, is it bad, is it I mean in between, right? It gives the toxicity so that the predictions or the decisions can taken forward. It gives the auditing, zero retentions, many things it gives. And this is how the trust layer works. It secures the data retrieval, it does the dynamic grounding, it masks the data, because there will be some PII information, personal information. There could be some I would say very sensitive information. You can also do the data masking. It goes through security gateway. Now it goes to zero retention of data, and it generates the output. While generating output, it gives you the toxicity, and it always maintain the audit trail. So audit trail is something very important when it comes to the compliance standpoint. So this is the trust layer works. I don't want to jump into the niche technology how it works, because as end users we need not to worry about this. This is something they built it for their backend, but they want to also let you know you can trust GPT using these parameters, right? So this is the one common concerns about generative AI. Guys, I want you to be very much thoughtful about generative AI, because it is good for better causes. It is also bad for some reasons. One is hallucinations. The perfect example is this one. So I gave my name, Tamalal Venkat Seshkirao, and I asked, tell me about this guy, or who is this guy. Since it doesn't have enough data of me, who is my name. I mean, I'm sure there is no other guy with the same name, because my surname is already a unique one, and my name it's very old name. So it's my grandfather's name, for your information. So it doesn't have much data about this guy. It is assumed or hallucinated to another guy. By the way, the in output it has given, there is one more guy called Seshagir Rao or Venkata Seshagir Rao. So it gives that person's output. So this is the pure example of hallucination. So it has hallucinated that I'm asking about another Seshagiri, and it gives the output of that Seshagiri. But I cannot rely on this data. So hallucination is not good. So you cannot go for it. So this is one thing. What hallucination is? Data security, right? Whatever the predictive data, you need to make it much secure, right? If it is not, might end up losing a lot of business, or maybe sometimes it can go in a wrong way as well if data is secure. Plagiarism. So right now entire world is going through plagiarism, because what happens is I have already trained my LLM model with huge amount of data, and it is giving the output of data. And if you see the output of the data is something already been there, right? It is not unique. Let's say I write content sometimes in LinkedIn. I write something for some blogs or somewhere, right? So that content comes from my heart, right? I'm typing it with my own words, with my own, dialect and context. But if generative AI is already giving a output which is already there, it is just taking from somewhere. It is, mix and matching some data, and it is giving back to you. That means that's a plagiarized data. So with that plagiarized data, it is, I mean, it's not harmful, but yeah, you cannot have plagiarized data, right? Where is your authenticity? Where is the uniqueness of the data? So that is missing. So plagiarism is the huge concern at the moment. Even hallucination was huge concern, but hallucination is, I think it will be demolished with the AI. It learns from itself, And user spoofing, user can also do spoofing, and it might cause some concern to sustainability as well, right? So these are the five key ones. I would say these three are the topmost, yeah. So as I mentioned, hallucination are words or phrases that are generated by model that are often nonsensical or grammatically incorrect. So in my question case, it is nonsensical, and it's talking more about hallucination. When hallucination happens is if the model is not trained on enough data, if model is trained on noisy or dirty data, the model is not given enough context, if the model is not given enough constraints. So these are the challenges which gives you the hallucinations. So this is what this slide I want you guys to focus more. And any questions until now? The first time, where can we get this kind of story? This story, by the way. Wow, Radiant 6. I've seen Tucan. Yeah, thank you for sharing this. 90% of staff has been fired. Yeah, this is the one I'm talking about. There are many guys. Just even type how generative AI cause of a lot of mass firing. Just type in Google, you'll find much more stories. Okay, Dukan is one of the famous one, so that's why I shared this story. Thank you for giving this link, Anmol. All right, I'll go back. Where am I? Yeah, any questions until now? Feel free to ask. Okay, I'll not take much time. Almost I'm end of my slides. I'll show you the demos in few minutes. So it shared the trusted, with OpenAI. For your information, Salesforce Einstein GPT is not using its own LLMs, right? It is using the OpenAI LLM, which is GPT. So I don't know how many of you came to Dev Days, any of the Dev Day, the keynote, right, or the Einstein GPT sessions. If you see the LLM model they are using while giving you the output is GPT, but not CodeGen or not any of the LLM which was built by Salesforce. So Salesforce itself is not using these LLMs; it is using its OpenAI LLM, which is GPT 3.5 and GPT 3. So that means Salesforce LMS are not up to the mark by now. Probably if they have a matured LLM model in future, then they may replace with GPT and they will have their own LLMs. I'm not sure even how CodeGen LLM is, but after beta or after generally available, people will give feedback, and from there it might learn or it might use another LLMs. Not sure. So Salesforce can also host AWS, Anthropic, and Salesforce can host its own data and cohorts data as well. So it's on the Hyperforce, and it is hosting these as well. You can also bring your own model, right? If you don't want to trust on any of the Salesforce model or other models, you can bring your own models. Amazon SageMaker and Vertex AI. So who invented Vertex AI? Amazon SageMaker is one of the famous model right now, and Vertex AI as well. Amazon SageMaker is by Amazon. The name itself is telling. But who is having this model? Vertex AI. Anyone knows? I have started learning Vertex AI. I'm still learning. Yep, it's Google. Google's model is Vertex AI. So very soon, Google's LLM model Vertex AI is going to be very popular because of many reasons. If you want to learn Vertex AI, you can also learn from Google Foundations, Generative AI Foundations. All right. So yeah, what's coming from Salesforce? These are the six products coming from Salesforce: Sales GPT, Service GPT, Marketing GPT, Commerce, Tableau, and Slack GPT. For your information, Sales GPT and Service GPT is already generally available. Marketing, Commerce, Tableau, and Slack are in beta. So you might heard about more of these GPTs after Dreamforce or within Dreamforce. Okay, and just a spoiler alert, because this is something going to be announced in Dreamforce. But yeah, there is one more certification coming on AI. It is called as AI Associate. So if you are interested to learn AI, I will strongly recommend you guys to learn and prepare for that certificate and become one of the early certified people. and they are going to announce this about in Dreamforce. But yeah, I gave you the spoiler. So yeah, how can you be a AI-minded admin? So step one, stay up to date with Salesforce AI. Step two, learn generative AI fundamentals. We have already learned these two in this session. Step three, get ready for data-centric AI. Right. So this is going to be coming from Salesforce, and you can also be data. What is data-centric AI? Improve data quality, create and maintain backup, maintain and improve your org. So data defines your AI. So do these activities. Prompt engineering, right? If you want to do some prompt engineering, as one of the our attendee is mentioning, what is the one of the high paying jobs right now? US high paying job, not only US, global high paying job is prompt engineering. So you can also do the sample prompts, write a friendly email text with context, get converted to opportunity, write a SQL statement that shows me users with API access, so on and so forth, right? Three tips for expert prompt engineering: provide context, be security minded, review and revise. Right? These are the three important while doing the prompt engineering. I thought of giving lot of examples and backend of prompt engineering, but I don't have much time to cover this. But yeah, if you all want to learn prompt engineering, there is one good course on prompt engineering. I'll show you. Give me a second. Yep, this one, deeplearning.ai. Through this, you can go to short courses, and there are prompt engineering for developers. It's a very excellent course, guys. I'm going through it. Yeah, I strongly recommend if you guys want to learn prompt engineering, this is the starting place for you, and there is many more to learn, right? And there's a free of cost for your information. Deeplearning.ai. I'll give you this link if you want. Yes. Yeah. So one example from a prompt, right? Write an email inviting my client Lauren to discuss our investment services. The moment you give this input to prompt, it already generated an email to you. Dear Lauren, blah 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 blah, and this is the output. So assume I'm a sales guy. By the way, I do some of the sales engineering and sales in my company. Sometimes, not every time. So it's a very painful thing, to send emails to prospects, leads, because it takes a lot of time, right? So if you give a and if you want to make it more contextual, it takes even more time, because you need to think about the context, you need to write about that context, you need to make sure the grammar is correct, you need to make sure the tone is correct. So just to write an email, it takes 15, 20, even 30 minutes as well. But if I give this prompt, right, give me this email, I can set the tone, I can set the context, and I can do anything, and it generates an email. This is a very simple email, but it also gives you very large email as well. So that is one of the example. If you want to learn about this, this is the link, spos.co/ai for admins. There is a very good trial mix. I'm also going through it. For your information, I'm also preparing for that AI associate certificate. So this trial mix will help you for that certification. I can give you this link. Yeah, you can go through it. All right, thank you. That's the end of my session. Demo is still pending. Any questions before I jump into demos? Any questions, guys? How is it, the session? Anything you want to know? Any use cases you want me to explain more, or any application you want me to tell you based on your existing applications, what you're building? Let me know. I can help you. One of the best session I have attended. Thank you, Neha. Thanks for the kind words. Can you please share the PPT? Bharat, I might not, because I have a few more sessions in another communities. So this is my proprietary, my intellectual property. I will not share, but yeah, you can go through the recording. You will find all the decks. Sorry, Bharat, for that. Okay, are you all interested to see demos right now? We covered such a complicated topic in an interesting way. Thank you, Neha. His email will draft automatically based on the current account data. Yes, yes, Anshika, that is right. All right, let's get into the demos. I will share my screen once again. As I mentioned, I'm so sorry, guys. I don't have a org to show you the demos. But what I can do, what I have did is I have gone through all the demos which was given by Salesforce because only Salesforce folks has those orgs, and I have recorded those demos into small clips, and I am going to share it with you. Let me know if the audio is audible and you could able to see the demo properly. So these are my demos, how a prompt studio works, how data cloud is doing a lot of stuff in marketing cloud, how commerce and cloud is going to help you, and how can you increase your productivity using Slack GPT. Let's go one by one. A quick check.
Hey everyone, excited to be here. So Patrick just showed us the power of these prompts.
Quick check. Can you able to hear it properly?
Yes, Isha.
Okay, awesome. All right. I'll keep the playback speed to 1.25x. Right, usually I see every video in 2x. That is my productivity hack because I can complete that video in half the time. But to just to reduce the time, I'm just keeping 1.25x. If you feel it is too fast, let me know. I'll keep it back to 1.
To generate highly relevant content. But he also showed us that it's time consuming to get those prompts right. So what if rather than having your users create prompts in the flow of work, they were created for them? What if every admin were a prompt engineer? Well, today we're so excited to share with you Prompt Studio. All right, with Prompt Studio, every admin is an expert at prompt engineering. That means you can create prompts anywhere in Salesforce. All right, Patrick, should we show them this live demo?
Yeah, let's see it. I'm the admin part. That sounded interesting. Let's see it.
I agree. It's fascinating. Yep. All right, so here we are in Prompt Studio, and we view any of the prompt templates that we've created and, of course, edit them. But let's create a new one. So right here, you can choose from the prompt template type and where you want it surfaced. We've done a lot of the heavy lifting for you, so this is pretty easy. So we can choose email so that we can help generate an email to send to your customers. Field population, so we can help generate content for a field, for example, a description. And sidebar, so we can surface actions to users, for example, which leads to focus on. Now again, it's all highly extensible, so you can surface them in Apex and in Flow. All right, let's choose email, and we're gonna go ahead and name this prompt template. So we're gonna write an outreach email, and we'll create a description for it as well. So next, we're gonna click create, and it's gonna take us right into the next step, where we're able to modify this prompt template to fit the needs of our business. So some simple things on the right-hand side here, we'll have configuration, language, style. You can even select your LLM provider. But of course, the real magic.
If you see, guys, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, Isha.
Yeah, if you see, this is what I'm talking about. They are still using OpenAI, even though this is a Salesforce instance and they're building the prompts. They're still using the OpenAI and they're still using the GPT 3.5. This is what I'm trying to tell. So Salesforce itself is not using his LLM models. They're still relying on OpenAI. So they have a very good partnership between OpenAI. I'll continue the recording.
Isn't that prompt email template that we're going to create? So it's pretty easy to create something because we've done a lot of the heavy work. And this way you can generate the response that you want from our trust layer. So why don't we go ahead and get started with doing that? So one of the most magical things about Prompt Studio is it has access to your metadata. That means that you can ground your prompts in the data in CRM. So for example, here we have user and we have our contact. It's also integrated with Data Cloud. So you can select, for example, the preferred order delivery method for your contact. All right, Patrick, we have to test before we go live, and you can also do that right here in Prompt Studio. So we can select a record from the dropdown. First thing we'll see on the left is that grounded prompt. So we can verify that all the data comes from Andrea. All right, I'm pretty excited about the next bit of magic, which is actually seeing what Einstein GPT gives us when we send the prompt across. Here we go. Boom, check it out. Einstein GPT has generated a response for us. It is relevant to the user and to the contact, and we see that it's received a harmless toxicity rating. I mean, this is amazing. Every admin is now a pro at prompt engineering.
What I love about this is it's not just like saying write an email, it's giving an entire set of instructions, right? So what if I wanted it to give me a response in the tone of my brand? Can I just instruct it to do that?
Absolutely. It's all about this prompt template, what you want to bring in, how you want to ground it.
And then we can just attach these to buttons and flow in the platform.
Exactly. The next step is so simple. All you do, click activate, boom, and it's available to your users to generate those outreach emails.
That's incredible. Amazing. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Yep, that is the major use case, guys. Have you seen? It generated an email just with some instructions and context. And if you see, you need to focus on toxicity. It is harmless. So you are good to send this email, right? So that is how this prompt engineering is helping, just with some context, and it generated a huge email for you. So this is one demo. We'll go to the other one.
And to bring it to life, please welcome Sanjana Perulekar, Senior Director, Product Marketing. And to bring it to life, please welcome Sanjana Perulekar.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Srini. So you've seen how generative AI works. So now we're going to have a little fun and show you how you can experience it day to day and get started. So before we get into it, I want to give
I'm sorry, I just clicked the preview instead of clicking on the video. So I'm back. Any questions, by the way, from the past demo? All right. Okay, coming back. Oops. Yeah. This is an 8-minute video. I'll keep the playback speed to 1.5x. If it is too fast, let me know. But yeah, we can complete this video in 5 minutes.
And to bring it to life, please welcome Sanjana Perulekar.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Srini. So you've seen how generative AI works. So now we're going to have a little fun and show you how you can experience it day to day and get started. So before we get into it, I want to give a hand over here for Tim and Dylan, who are our demo drivers. All right, now Formula One is using AI, data, and CRM seamlessly behind the scenes to provide amazing customer experiences. And as Mark mentioned, we're here to talk about AI today, but it all starts with the data. And what you're seeing here is the homepage for Formula One. It has all of their rich fan engagement data, every touch point, every activation, and every event that the customer has been to. But how did we get to this neat, unique, connected view? Well, it all starts with connected.
You're feeling fast, guys? Is it fast? Or you want to reduce to 1.25? Okay, it's fast. Okay, let me reduce to 1.25.
To all of your data. And Data Cloud makes it super simple to connect to all of the data that is relevant to your ultimate customer experience.
Fine. This speed 1.25. I'm sure by now you are used to 1.25. Okay. All right. Let's go for that.
Fan for Formula One. So you can connect to any customer cloud, any external data source or data lake, or even any legacy system using MuleSoft. And as we know, data is the fuel for AI. So being able to bring in all of this data, no matter where it sits, is extremely important for providing that end personalization. So once we've connected to all of that data, we need to make sure that it's harmonized into one consistent format, because you have data sitting in a lot of different systems. So a single fan could be represented in an IP address, in maybe a touch point with your mobile app, or maybe their Hotmail address from their college account or something like that. But they're one customer with one set of needs. So with Data Cloud, you can harmonize all of that data into one consistent view. And with the data is now ready for any sort of personalization that we want to start with. And the end result is actually this very clean, very unified view of the end customer. I can now see every single touch point that Abby has had with Formula One, the races she's attended, what's coming next, the purchases she's made, really anything about her that gives me that full picture of who she is. So now that I have this unified view of the customer, this is where it gets interesting with AI, starting with marketing. Now, what we want to do is create a landing page for our upcoming event. And I can tell you, as a former Salesforce admin myself and a current marketer, creating landing pages is hard. And it's hard for two reasons. The first is it's difficult to personalize it just the way you want. And the second is that you never know how it's really going to perform. Now, this is where Einstein GPT is extremely important in helping to do this quickly. So as I start to prompt Einstein GPT with what I want to do, in this case, creating a landing page, all of this content that's being populated on the page is not just content coming out of nowhere. This is content based on what has performed best in the past. So I can rest assured as that marketer that I'm not only building quickly, but I'm building for that end personalization that my customer is really going to want. So Einstein GPT is going to help me create more personalization on this page, more product recommendations, and I even want to add an interactive map for our customers and fans that will be on site at the Miami Grand Prix. Now, as a marketer, this is where my job ends and a developer's work begins. So let's head over into the developer environment. Now, right here within the IDE, my developer can customize this map and make it super interactive for that end landing page, which is killer for our F1 fans. And with just a few prompts and descriptions of what I want to achieve, the code will be automatically generated. And this is powered by our own Salesforce large language models. Now, I want to pause here for a second, because in this new era of generative AI, there's a lot of talk about the future of work and what these new roles will be of the future. And the future is our trailblazers. Our trailblazers are building with Apex today. And with these tools, they'll be more efficient than they have ever been before, which is simply incredible. So now that we built the page, let's see what it looks like. Now with this page, this is fully personalized to the end fan, personalized to them and their journey at the Miami Grand Prix. Okay, so another really special part about F1's business is the way that they treat their end fans with their hospitality reps. So for them, a sales rep is a hospitality rep. And they pride themselves on this trusted relationship. Now, this trust can take a lifetime to build and a moment to break with the wrong level of personalization or feeling like that rep really doesn't know them. So Einstein GPT helps them scale this relationship and nurture it with the most up-to-date information. So the first thing I want Einstein GPT's help with here is to update my account description. And it can help me do this really quickly, bringing in that public data that's relevant to my customer alongside private data, which is really important. It'll also surface my relevant contacts that I might want to reach out to for the upcoming Miami Grand Prix. So it's not just surfacing knowledge, but it's surfacing actions, which helps me go faster as that hospitality rep. So next I want to compose an email and invite my end customer to an upcoming race with a really tailored email here. Now, another special thing that I want to call out about Einstein GPT is that this isn't just based on everything a rep has done in the past. This is based on outcomes. So this email that's being generated is based on the emails that have been most highly performant with customers in the past. So we're going to go ahead and edit that email, bring it into the email composer, and send that right to the customer. So the next step of this story is super important because this is where it gets very personal with our customer inside of Slack. Now, the hospitality reps within F1 are using Slack as their centerpiece for productivity across all of their channels and all of their customers. Now, this is the updated sales homepage for all the Formula One hospitality reps, and it's enriched with all of the amazing data they have in CRM about their customer. So I can see over here that this end customer that I just sent the email to has accepted our invitation to the race. And what's automatically been created is this Slack canvas, which has really the best starting point I could ever ask for in terms of information that I want to give to my customer. It has some relevant information for VIPs, some experiences, on-site contacts. But as a hospitality rep, I might want to personalize this a little bit more. And Einstein GPT is there for me as well. I can ask Einstein to help me identify what the best experiences are at the Miami Grand Prix and then update this canvas. So I've gotten that great first stop with generative AI, and I can also continue to customize this. So we're going to share this with the customer in our joint channel because we're collaborating directly with the customer here. And we want to make it really, really important for them to have every single experience they want. And it looks like they actually have some questions for us. And one thing that I really love about Slack myself at Salesforce is using a huddle for those quick questions that might not require a whole phone call or a whole conversation. So we get on a huddle with the customer and we understand a little bit more deeply what they want to experience on site at the Formula One race. Now, not only was I able to do that super quickly, but after the call is done, I'll get a helpful summary right in the channel that I can use later. So this is just a snapshot of all of the various ways that Formula One can be using AI Cloud across their entire business. Back to you, Mark.
Very good. Thank you, Paul.
How is this demo, guys? Which almost talked about marketing GPT, sales GPT, developers GPT, and even the Slack GPT, right? How many of you use Slack in your organization or outside your organization? Uh, See, Anshika said yes. Me, we use it. See, one of the toughest and you know craziest thing is writing minutes of meeting, right? Whenever you attend a meeting, and the painful part is you writing minutes of meeting. Instead of you writing, If you do the huddle and if you are having the Slack GPT, it will give you the minutes of meeting. So that's the best thing. Even with along with minutes of meeting, it gives you the action items, because it's just read whatever you are talking about there, and it gives you that output. And more or less, it builds canvas. It also automatically create channels. It pass on the information on behalf of you. And if you go back to the sales GPT, it creates the emails. It make, if you miss any information about an account, right, it gives the account description, and it automatically create contacts from the public data. So many things, guys. I mean, in lot more places where, let's say, 8 to 10 member human is going to perform task, with replacing chat gpt, sorry, not chat gpt, Einstein gpt, just one or two members are enough to complete task in the same time. So that is the use case, and I'm sure it is going to disrupt the Salesforce industry as well. So yeah, one last video, or you are tired with videos, you want to see more? There are two more, but up to you. Want me to show one more more? If you say no, I'll not show. Yes. Okay. One last one of the day, which is very interesting. My favorite, actually. It's a very small use case, but very powerful. So how can you increase productivity, right? This one.
Wow, what a nice welcome. Thank you. So it's my privilege to speak to customers like you all every day, and everyone I speak to is really excited about generative AI. But you know what really gets them out of their seats of excitement? It's generative AI and the workflows that they use and rely on. So now Sarah, who we just met a few minutes ago, and I are going to take you through 3 of our favorites from sales, service, and productivity. But before we start, can I just ask you just to raise your hands if you work in sales? Come on, let me see those hands raised. Now, don't be shy. I don't know salespeople to be particularly shy and retiring types. Let me see those hands. Okay, cool. Now, if you raise your hand, you might just want to reach under your seat and see if there's a golden envelope with a prize. Let me see you reach under. Come on in. No? Few people are? Okay, I'm only kidding. There isn't an envelope under your seat. Sorry. I just wanted to have a bit of fun. No, just get you moving a little bit. And if you did find a golden envelope, that's probably from last year's show. So it's probably expired by now. Anyway, okay. So, Sarah, are we ready to go?
Is it too fast? Just checking 1.5. Depends on every person, dialect to dialect, and the speed. You might find it fast. Is it fast? We'll go with 1x speed. What do you say? 1x, 1.25x. Okay, let's go with 1.25. After showing the demo, it will be a bit slower.
Should we start? Amazing. So let's start with sales. So sales reps spend day in and day out communicating with customers and prospects over email. But crafting personalized outreach emails is tedious, can be time consuming. Let's face it, it can also be really hard, getting that tone right. But with Einstein GPT now part of that sales user experience, they get the assistance they need to write those follow-up emails. And that prompt builder that Sarah just showed us a few minutes ago is surfaced as a simple button that the sales rep can use to write that outreach email. So over to you, Sarah. What I love about this is how simple it is for the sales users and how powerful it is behind the scenes. Every request goes through our trust layer, so you know your data is secure and it's never retained outside of Salesforce. Amazing. Thank you, Sarah. But do you know what else sales reps spend their days doing? Is talking to customers over the phone. And do you know what they hate doing? Is writing those call summaries. We can't stand it. It's horrible, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, they have to do it in the evenings, their weekends, their personal time. We've all experienced that. But with Einstein GPT, a part of that daily workflow, automatically transcribed, then summarized into its action items, purpose, and the key moments discussed. So now sales reps can spend their time talking to customers and closing deals and worry a whole lot less about managing all of the admin. So we've seen what a game changer Einstein GPT is for sales, but what about service? So we want to show all the service peeps in the room and online some love too. So let's head over to service now, Sarah. So service reps are passionate about amazing customer service, and they want to improve those resolution times. And every minute they spend looking at knowledge articles, searching for product recommendations, is a minute less from helping another customer. But with Einstein GPT now part of that flow of work for every service agent, when they're now having a call with a customer, they're automatically recommended responses that are personalized to that customer. And as those conversations go on as well, they're assisted with recommendations and next best offers without the need to search for what's new in the product catalog. And the service agent stays in control. It's up to them whether they accept or decline those recommendations. Actually, I think, Sarah, you might be a little bit responsible for this. Yeah, so next best action has been a hit with introduced 8 years ago. Combining generated responses alongside predictive product recommendations is such a time saver to our service agents, and of course makes for happy customers.
Yeah, I'm a real sucker for a next best offer. The amount of times I've been upsold to premium. Now we know who to blame, hey Sarah? So so let's get back to our service agents. We've still got that case open and their work isn't done. Because even when the case is done and closed, they still have to spend their time summarizing all of their cases. But with Einstein GPT now part of that workflow, that's just a click of a button and that case is then summarized. Super easy, super simple, amazing. So far we've seen what a game changer Einstein GPT is for sales and service. But what about productivity? Well, let's turn our attention to Slack. So we've looked at how productivity is really managed at the individual level, but what if you're bringing a group of users to really come together to help a customer? Well, that's where Slack GPT shines. So if you look up there, that's a case swarming channel inside Slack. And we've brought together a whole variety of people from across an organization to really focus and solve a customer challenge. But in addition to that, we've also enriched this channel with information from Service Cloud about the case, account details, and the cause of the issue. And it also includes workflow automation that can update that case in an external system such as Jira. But the art and of amazing customer service isn't about finding knowledge, it's also about creating knowledge. And in this case, we brought all of these experts together, but wouldn't it be amazing if we could just leverage that expertise and bottle it up so it could be used for the benefit of other customers? Well, with Einstein GPT, that's just a click of a button. We can summarize that case swarm and create a new knowledge article that can be used to help other customers. Pretty amazing, eh? So in summary, we've seen what a game changer Einstein GPT is for sales. We've seen how it can transform that customer experience. And finally, we looked at how we can drive productivity and collaboration inside of Slack. Back to you, Patrick.
All right.
Yeah. So this is one more best use case. So if I summarize it right, so basically sales is the one we already seen. It will give you the contextual email. But when it comes to service, right, the most used service medium is email or chatbot, right? So whenever send you an email, whenever trying to converse with chatbot. So let's say I asked a question, I am getting this error on an activity object due to some reasons. So you might not know the answer your mind, right? Then what will we do? We will go to knowledge articles, we will search, we'll read about it, we'll make sure your question is contextual. I'll reply to you. So this process easily take minutes, sometimes even hours. So what if chat gpt sorry the gpt service gpt directly go to the knowledge articles, read it out and give you the output within 1 second, and you just only need to do is just click the send button, or else if you want to customize a bit of answer, you can customize it as well. So that is a powerful exercise you can do with service, because through this you can give accurate answers, you can complete the tickets in few seconds or if not minutes, and you can also summarize these cases and close the cases within minutes. So that's the old use case I'm talking about, it, the Dukan use case. The chatbot has replaced everyone because chatbot itself is responding to all the questions and making sure most of the tickets are resolved just with that chatbot. And wherever there is a human intervention required, that's where one or two support members will be available. So that's a very huge thing in Service GPT. And if you go pass on this Service GPT to Slack GPT, the same knowledge articles what are openly available can be utilized in the Slack GPT as well. You need not to answer in the Slack by typing all the content. You just need to integrate, I mean, have that GPT in place in Slack, and Slack will automatically give you the responses. You just need to fine tune some answer and you click send. Even if you want to automate it, you can automate it without human intervention as well. So a lot of use cases. So basically they are playing on time and resource. This is the most costly thing ever in the world, right? So time is very costly, especially in the capitalist worlds like US, and nowadays India is also nothing less than a capitalist country. So, and resource, right? With less resources and less time, they're going to accomplish a lot of tasks. So those are the major advantage and use case of GPT, Einstein GPT. So that's all from my end, guys. I have covered my deck, even the demos. Any questions? I'm open to our questions. And thank you for being here until now. It's almost 1 hour 45 minutes. I'm talking and showing these demos. Rajay is asking where I can find this session recording.
I have shared the link. It will be uploaded by end of the day on that YouTube channel.
Do the GPT interacts with third-party applications? Yes, yes, Bharat. Yeah, if you do that integration, right, it do. Yeah, thank you, Rajia. Any questions? Feel free to ask, guys. I'm there for you.
And thank you so much, Sasha. It was an amazing session, like a very, very innovative and very learning session, full of learnings. So thank you so much for taking out time in the busy schedule and obviously on a Sunday morning.
That's fine. Yesterday was a very hard day for me. We did
Yeah.
this workshop. I woke up yesterday at 4:30
Oh,
because we need to travel other side of the Bangalore. So
okay.
we went there at 7:38 and we came back at 7 in the evening. So very tiring day. Now today I
Very
woke up a bit
tiring. Yeah.
earlier, came
I,
to this session.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Bhaskar has asked about license cost.
Yeah, Bhaskar, right now, as I mentioned, sales GPT and service GPT is GA. You can find those license cost. It's openly available. Uh, I would say affordability is based on the company's budget. Any small to medium company to afford GPT is not that easy because Salesforce license are always at the high of its peak compared to other CRM tools. So, but any enterprise company, any large scale company can afford it easily. Yeah, I would say that. So if in case my company can afford it, my company is a startup. No, we can't afford. Yes. Do the GPT interacts metadata? Yes, yes, it do. It takes the input from metadata and it, gives the output. That's where you have seen one of the demo sales GPT. So I'll tell you one use case, guys. I'm seeing people are wondering how GPT is going to replace our job. Uh, I mean, while I'm giving this session in the Bengaluru, in-person session it was, that's the one use case I'm always thinking about, and I told to them, and that use case become reality. I'll tell you that use case. So we all are software employees, right? Especially information technology employees. If you see the life cycle, there will be a customer who gives you the requirements. That requirements will be fine tuned and converted into user stories, and from user stories developers do the coding and admins will do the configuration, and we deploy it, we go live, right? I mean, in a nutshell, this is what happens, but it's a huge process, right? Assume this entire process is replaced by a robot or a generative AI. So how? I'll tell you. So a customer who gives requirements either in two ways. One is in a document, right? They give entire document to give the requirements, or sometimes customer itself is not knowing their problem. What they do is they will get into a call with us and they'll share their problem statements, pain points, and what type of solutions they're looking for. Whatever the medium it may be, if it is a document, I can summarize this document. I can put this document in a AI tool, right? I give that document as an input, and the document summarization and proper business use cases I'll get as an output, right? That is already there. If it is a video or audio based meeting, then what happens? They will give all their instructions, all their problem statements. Using transcript, I can have that content in place with me, and I can convert that content into a proper business use cases or business problem statements. So then what happens? Using that, we build BRD document or whatever, right? Usually that's what product managers and business analysts do. I do it very often. And with that document or with that use cases, usually we write the use stories. So I can input this BRD document or use cases to one of the tool and ask to generate use stories. All the use stories are generated. So based on the use stories, what I get, I input to one more tool, ask it to generate me the code, right? Obviously, it gives you the code, which is 90-95% accurate. On top of it, you just need to change a bit to make it much more contextual. And once the code is available, I can do the deployment. It's just a matter of few steps, and deployment is done. Go live. So assume I can replace in this entire phase, depending on the size of the project, I can replace tens and hundreds and thousands of people, and I can complete this project instead of 3 years or 2 years or 1 year, probably in months or probably in days, right? So this is the use case I'm just thinking about. I shared the same use case with everyone, saying that every one of our job is in stake. because there are tools already available which does these activities on behalf of us. Only very minimal human interaction is required. Not everyone is required. So instead of 10 members, hardly one or two is required to complete this task, that too for less time span. And we all are not required. Ideally, if a company find out how to do this end-to-end process, they will eventually fire 80-90% of their employees, and they will keep only 10% of employees at it. At the end of the day, who knows how to operate, who knows how to fine tune, who knows how to improve, those are the people who are going to stay. Rest of the mundane task, it's already been taken care by the generative AI. So that is the use case I told. Everyone is kind of scared. Oh God, it's going to be replacing our jobs, and that's eventually it might happen, right? If you are not well equipped with AI and all. And for your information, already a tool has been introduced. The tool name is MetaGPT. Please go ahead and Google it. So this tool is going to, you just give the raw requirements to it. It will automatically convert those requirements into business use cases, convert the business use case into user stories. It will also give you the architectural diagrams, even the process flow diagrams. If you ask it, it might also give you the ERD diagrams. And from there, it also generate the code. It also generate the step-by-step process, how to get you the final solution, and you will get the solution within few minutes. So there is already tool available. I'm talking about input it in multiple tools, but one tool is going to do this entire process. So go ahead, MetaGPT. It's not yet released yet. Type MetaGPT. I'm just exploring. It's in beta right now. I'm also exploring it. I'm a product manager. I wish it is come out and it don't replace me in my company. So yeah, all of our jobs are in stake with these kind of tools and generation of uh, solutions and data like this. So even software engineering is not safe. So this is what going to happen. I wish everyone learn about it, know about it, how to operate it, how to manage it. That's enough for you to sustain in this ecosystem. If you are outdated, if you are not willing to learn, if you are feeling that this is just a passing cloud which comes and go, I'm sure you will regret after a long time. So that's the last two bits of me. That's it from my end. Any questions, I am open to answer. So I'm sharing that Meta GPT link for you to go through it. It's a framework they're building. It's in beta. That's the link. Any questions, guys? I'm open to questions. All right. I don't see any questions. Thank you. It was a great session. Thank you, Lavanya. Thank you, Thresh, everyone. Thresh, you're having a question. Sales. Can sales GPT can sell? I don't know. If you build your own AI human replacement, maybe it can sell. Good one.
Thank you, Seshan. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank you.
joining. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here for almost 2 hours. We'll catch up with you all. And one request from my end before you all drop, just post whatever you have learned in this session in LinkedIn and Twitter. Tag me, tag Swati, tag Kochi group, and we all let the world know about that we have learned something,
Yes.
and let the world also be updated with this
I
kind of
think we
content.
have learned a lot in this, 2 hours. So just it's good to publish on medias. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank you
good
everyone.
day.
Guys, have a great day.
Bye
Great
bye.
Sunday.